Hi everyone, we are the peer consultants from CES Speaking Studio at HKU. We are here to give you some tips on how to use examples or evidence effectively when you make an argument. First of all, you may wonder why we use examples to justify a point. Well, consider this. Let's say you have to write an essay, make a short video, or speak in a debate on the topic, social media is harmful for our mental health. When you take examples of yourself or news you have read online to show how people easily get addicted to social media, it speaks much louder than purely stating social media is not good. Good use of examples makes your argument more convincing, interesting, and personalized. So, what are considered to be good examples and how should we formulate them? We have developed on our own a Ryou framework, and let's see what each letter stands for. To start with, the O stands for organization. Examples are embedded in a very well-organized structure at the right place at the right time so to strengthen the argument. In a debate at the very beginning, you need to clearly tell your listeners what your argument is about. A brief label may concisely convey information. For instance, you can simply say, I believe online teaching is less effective than face-to-face teaching to clarify your point. Then, explain why you think your standpoint is true by walking your audience through your thinking. Vocalizing your analysis will ensure that the audience understands what you mean by the examples you're about to use. After referring to examples and enabling the audience to see how they fit to your overall argument, a concluding sentence can sum your idea and make it appear well established. To sound more well-organized, you can also use phrases to introduce your examples. You can use phrases like, to illustrate this, here is an example, a case that supports the argument is, the issue is perfectly shown by one example, etc. These transitional phrases will let your audience know that you are now going to talk about some examples. Next, the S stands for support. A good evidence or example should support your argument, and let's check out this topic below. In a debate about whether the government should spend money building bicycle lanes, what do you think is a good example to support the claim? Here's an example. Have you ever cycled on the street? Remember the wind and the siren roaring in your ears? It can be terrifying, right? Because it sounds as if an accident is about to happen. Bike lanes may make things much less boring and more enjoyable, and a study published in a Dhanvi journal found that the introduction of bike lanes did lead to a 50% reduction in injuries to street users. Well, we can see, by asking the audience for their personal cycling experiences, the debater makes the issues relatable and matter to life. Also, through some specific data such as 50%, people can quantify how effective and helpful it is for the government to build bike lanes. Thus, use of such examples supports your point and is effective. The R stands for representative. The evidence chosen cannot be a very rare example that only represents a small population. For example, you get a general topic such as whether the internet makes obtaining helpful information easier. If you refer to doctor degree holders who have to search for academic articles online to support the claim, it probably is not so convincing because your example only covers the minority. Instead, by referring to the general public who have access to both the internet and other alternative resources, it may be much more representative and persuasive. Lastly, E stands for effect because it's super important to consider the effect you want to achieve by using such evidence or example. Sometimes you might want to be humorous. For instance, if the topic is as casual as Disneyland is better than Ocean Park, you might simply want to give a humorous example that the rides at Ocean Park are so frightening that you close your eyes on the ride, so that you do not get to enjoy at all. These real-life experiences as examples are very likely to achieve a humorous or even unexpected effect. On the other hand, if it's a political or worldwide issue such as whether spending large amounts of money on space exploration is worth the resources, you may want some thought-provoking examples, like considering kids suffering from famine in Africa and loads of patients dying from cancer who are really in need of the resources or support. Nonetheless, since the topic may be a bit hard to relate to, using analogy or metaphor to establish a connection between the topic and daily life may help. For example, if you support spending money on space exploration, you can use analogy by referring to the benefits of constructing libraries or recreational facilities, even if some people cannot even afford a place to live. Depending on your topic, you will have different effects you want to achieve. Always put that in mind and adjust your strategies accordingly. So that is our roles framework. Do practice that structure with a few labels to get started, and always remember that debate is not arguing or even fighting with someone. It's about using effective and convincing evidence to justify and strengthen your point. Be confident and collaborate with your teammates to inspire each other. I believe you will learn so much from your debate experience. Enjoy and embrace it. Good luck! For related videos, you can click here to learn how to structure an argument to make it persuasive or how to point out fallacies. And if you feel you need some more practice speaking, whether for academic or professional purposes, feel free to book a consultation with us. Looking forward to see you soon.